session sharp at 12 noon.
Certainly, certainly. That's okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Uh, we'll be starting with our session. Respected Amita ma'am, we are starting with our session with the welcome note.
Sure. Sure.
Respected Father, Dr. John B.J., Principal, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, Vice Principal, Sister Dr. Sonia Korean, our expert speaker for the day, Dr. Amita Singh, and respected teachers and students of the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. A very hearty good afternoon. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to introduce our expert speaker, Dr. Amita Singh, Senior Consultant in Nutrition and Dietetics. She has written books on nutrition and contributed material on nutrition for institutions like HelpAge India, Family Planning Association of India, IGNO, World Bank, Women and Child Welfare Department, Kota University, etc. Currently, she is head dietetics at National Hospital for Critical Care. Dr. Amita Singh is panelist and consultant of Raj Bhavan, Sports Authority of India, Health Department, Women and Child Welfare Department of Government of Madhya Pradesh. Ma'am, we are honored to be in your audience today. Your session today will be most helpful considering the testing COVID time. Respected ma'am, on behalf of the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, I, Dr. Jyoti Mathur, in charge Women's Cell, welcome you to start with today's session on health and nutrition during COVID and beyond. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Jyoti, for your very kind words and introduction. Thank you very much, Father and the Vice Principal and everybody, all the faculty of BSS. Actually, I have some excellent memories of your college. I have been associated with it in a number of ways. I was also asked to conduct a course on nutrition for the students at some time ago, and that was very well received. And otherwise too, I have participated in a number of activities, and it has been an excellent interaction always, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you some of the latest and the guidelines which have been laid down by Indian Council of Medical Research due to the, as you rightly said, the testing COVID-19 times. Now, we are hoping COVID is gone. But one thing, one positive thing which has happened as a result of that is that nutrition has come to be recognized as the single most important component which can make or break you. There are other factors which have come up, especially in terms of our Indian health scenario, and I'm going to share all those things with you. I will be talking about nutrition for sure, but the truth is that in case of our health, it is not just one thing, one component which matters. There's a whole lot of gamut of things which contribute towards keeping us healthy. And I'll be talking about them with one eye on the clock because I know that I have a limited time in front of me. So let's see what is it that we as health professionals, what have we come across in this learning during the last almost 1 year now. We've come across this that most Indians are terribly, almost 70% of the Indians are deficient in protein, the block, the nutrient which is responsible for repair of the body is missing very dramatically in our diets. The other thing we've come across is that our anemia, which is rampant in our country, especially in women and children, almost 70 to 80% of the children are anemic, and almost 50% of the women are anemic. This becomes a major cause of concern, as ultimately it is the blood which is going to circulate nutrients as well as drugs and medicines throughout your body to help repair it and to keep it healthy. The third alarming component which has come up is that obesity or being overweight is a very negative trait which we are observing in our upcoming generation, with some cities recording almost 40% of the adolescents moving towards obesity and the associated comorbidities. So we have our youngsters at 15, 16 showing signs and symptoms of diabetes, which is not a juvenile diabetic but an adult onset diabetes. They are showing signs of arterial damage, which is equal to that of a middle-aged person. These are not very good signs. These are the observations specifically in Indians during all this time, now that we have gathered so much of data as well. So what are the things which we have come across? What is the protocol which we all can follow at our own level and try and keep not only ourselves healthy? Because I've been watching all the people who've joined. There are a lot of ladies in the group. I think most of the participants are ladies. Now that's a very good thing. Because when a lady or a woman does something, she is probably trying to do it for the whole family. So I'm hoping that what I say today is going to percolate down the families. So each having said that, let us look at all the issues which are important. COVID may have receded, but we educate don't know. And maybe even make some change has receded. We see governance we need to look at. A very major component, very, very major, don't take it lightly, especially the young people here, is sleep. This has been found to take a very major beating. A lot of people, because the whole thing started with working from home, you were free to get up at any time. I even now take diet histories where I find youngsters, if the office starts at 9:30, they get up at 9 o'clock, hurriedly go, brush their teeth, get themselves a cup of tea and sit in front of the laptop working. And then get up only at about 1:30. Sleeping time has shifted from a decent 10:30, 11 to almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, I would like to tell you the findings of various medical researches. It's been shown categorically and it's been seen that the body has its own rhythm at which it repairs all the organs, or rather all the organs, they take their rest as well as repair themselves. Whether it is your gut which receives the food, the liver which helps to digest and mobilize the intestines, the lungs, the heart. And there are specific timings for all this activity during the night. When you stay up late at night and when you stretch your body to do functions which it is not supposed to do at that point of time, you are putting it under stress, resulting in a higher stress level hormones, mainly cortisol, as a result of which there is inflammation in your body, which weakens your immune system. So it's no use taking haldi ya dalchini ya tulsi patta vagara to boost your immunity if you are not getting adequate and proper sleep. The ideal time would be between 11 to 6 in the morning. Now, it's possible some of you may have a question that what to do. You see, ab aadat pad gayi hai. We are now used to this sleeping late and all. Fine. If you are determined to change this schedule, get up in the morning on time. Automatically, gradually, you will find that your sleeping schedule at night changes and you fall asleep earlier and earlier. It will not happen overnight. It will take the effort of a week or two, up to 3 weeks for you to get into this new routine. But you will reap the benefit. You will get up fresher. You will feel better. You will be more energetic. The irritation of the morning will be gone. And probably your family members will be happier when you don't bite their head off. Having said that, that was one component. The other thing which we find extremely disturbing is the lowered amount of hydration, the amount of water which we are drinking, because improper hydration leads to extremely detrimental results. How do you determine how much water you should drink? There's a very simple formula given by ICMR and you can follow that easily. Just multiply your weight by 40 ml. So if your weight is 60 kgs, multiply it by 40. That makes it 2,400 ml of water which you should be drinking. Mind you, this water, this fluid can include soups, it can include buttermilk, it can include coconut milk. It does not include juices, tea, coffee, in detail because I want that you should become conscious of it. I know there are lots of youngsters, so some of you who go to the gym, all kinds of protein shakes and protein powders are being touted as the best and all. At the onset, I must tell you, I have had to unfortunately send some youngsters, refer them to nephrologists, and as a response to that, they have had to even undergo dialysis because of the imbalanced way in which the protein was being used. I must also tell you that be very careful when you do use protein powders because there is a whole nexus of people who buy the original protein, open the tins, adulterate it, reseal it and send it, and all this is happening. I have no shame in saying that be careful, it is your body, it is your body. And so it's important that you look after it. No one else is going to be responsible. So let's first look at the natural sources of protein. So we have a lot of them. If you're a non-vegetarian, you know that there is egg and there are non-vegetarian foods, meat, chicken, fish. If you're a vegetarian, you would consider all pulses, dals, chole, rajma, chana. These are very good sources of protein together with milk and products. Although milk is a non-vegetarian source, but we consider it vegetarian, as well as our nuts and oil seeds in terms of groundnut hai, mungphali hai, bhuna chana hai. Although it's a dal, it gets converted into roasted nuts. We have badam, kaju, walnuts, we have seeds, til and alsi and sunflower seeds and a whole lot of them. Do you know that India is the largest producer of milk? So despite that, we are deficient in our calcium and vitamin D and protein. Isn't that a very sad statement? You are running after the whey protein, but where does the whey come from? The whey has just been extracted from the milk, and because it's been extracted, So it's more expensive, and so you end up paying a lot for what is so easily available in your homes every day. Now, if you're a non-vegetarian and taking egg and meat and chicken and everything, and I'll tell you exactly how much of what you should take, then you are happily getting the A class protein. But if you are a vegetarian, then you will not take egg, meat, chicken. You will be dependent on milk, pulses, nuts. But do remember one thing, that these are not by themselves complete. They need to be taken with some cereal. जैसे हम दाल चावल खाते हैं, बिर्रे की रोटी खाते हैं, डोसा खाते हैं, simple things. The point is that we are taking neither adequate milk or products, and nor are we taking adequate pulses. This is the point of contention for us nutritionists, to induce you to please include milk and pulses. How much of each? For every individual, unless you are lactose intolerant, the latest guidelines from Indian Council of Medical Research have said approximately 400 mLs, that means 2 helpings of milk or its products in a day, or its products, which means you can use it as a curd or a raita or a kheer or custards or paneer or whatever you want to do, but you must use it. And it will do vegetarians very good to remember that one particular vitamin, vitamin B12, is available to them only through the milk route. No other food has got vitamin B12 except non-vegetarian foods. So you have to take adequate amount of it. Whether you make a paneer paratha out of it, or you take curd out of it, you take raita out of it. It just doesn't matter. The beauty of milk and its protein is that it is adequately digested, absorbed, and utilized by the body. For my young friends who are listening here, I would like to tell you something. That you see, it is only till the age of 19 that the body increases and improves the bone density. And so it becomes very important that at this particular age, you take adequate amount of milk and its products. So here is one wonderful thing we have in our hands, which is supplying you not only milk, not only protein, it's supplying you calcium and phosphorus for your bones, it is supplying you vitamin B12 for your blood, it is supplying you B complex also for your nerves. So it is the one thing which, if you want to focus on improving, you want to improve your feeling of tiredness and fatigue, you want to improve your ability to fight against diseases, well, concentrate on this. Find out ways and means in which you can use it. Tea and coffee will not do, because tea and coffee have tannins which will bind the calcium in the milk and not make it available for your body. The second component is the pulses, dals. Huge number of them, huge variety of them. I am having chole and puri today for lunch. So, all these are pulses. They are not sabzi. A lot of households consider rajma, choles, etc. as sabzi. They are not sabzi. They are a source of very good protein. And I must also tell you, these so-called immunity booster micronutrients are what you find around these outer crust of these pulses. The rajmas and the chole and the whole moong and the whole black urad, which is liked so much, dal makhani, these colors are what give it that immunity boosting components. So all you need to do is to have pulses both the times with your meals, especially if you are a vegetarian, to increase the amount of protein. You want to make it easier for you because, as I said, I saw there are a lot of ladies in this group, working women. I don't want to increase their workload in the house. Well, if you are cooking pulses only once a day, try and cook 3 to 4 times only whole pulses with chilkas, and other times mix your atta with either chana dal or besan. Chana, whole chana, I beg your pardon. So whole chana, 1 part, 3 parts of atta, or else 1 part besan and 3 parts of atta. So what have you got? You've got the cereal as in atta, and you've got your chana. So when the two meet together, then what do you have? You have a complete protein. Having said that, there are a lot of people who will be talking, asking, wondering about bajra and jowar, etc. So the truth is that I'll be talking about it, that it is very good that we are all using these cereals, but there is a way of using it. I'll be talking about it in a little while. The third thing is the seeds, nuts and oil seeds. The latest guidelines are that 40 grams, that is a big handful or 2 small handfuls of various types of nuts and oil seeds must be used. Now, this I must tell you, it's not necessary, and it's probably a little out of reach for people to use 40 grams of badam kaju. But the beauty of the whole thing is that your mungpali, your bhuna chana, as well as all your oil seeds like alsi, til, sunflower seeds, melon seeds also do the same thing. So if you have a bottle, if you have a big bottle, mix equal amounts of all these things, shake it up and keep it there. If you are a diabetic, use it without any soft dry fruits. If you are not a diabetic, add some khajur, add some kishmish, some manakka. And every day, instead of taking biscuits, put your hands in that big bottle, take out 2 small handfuls for yourself and have them throughout the day. Carry them with you to the college and have them whenever there's a gap, you're feeling peckish. You will find that a few grains of these things will give you a lot of sustenance. With some water, you'll feel you've had something very nice. And of course, there is an added bonus. I promise you, within 3 weeks, a better skin and better hair also. Having said this, I think you would have now understood that these oil seeds have not only got the protein component which I'm looking at, but there is also a very important thing which I want you to concentrate on. The omega-3, the disease-fighting strong component, the zinc, the selenium, all these micronutrients are in abundance in these seeds. So all that you need to do is to actually make sure that these become a routine and a part of it. I'm spending so much time on this because I want everybody to be using them. There is no need to buy expensive omega-3 capsules and try to down those. No, you don't need to do it. 2 or 3 walnuts, a spoonful of alsi is all you need for the full omega-3 dose. You don't need more than that. Some people don't like to eat it. Well, just roast them, make a powder out of them, use them and sprinkle them on top of your salad, add it to your any milk shake or anything you are having. You can use it in any which way you like. As far as the non-vegetarians are concerned, despite the bird flu scare, if you are cooking your eggs well, 1 egg a day, even 5 times a week is fine. Don't get scared. Make sure that you are cooking the whole egg properly. As far as the other non-vegetarian foods are concerned, 2 to 3 pieces Just about 70 to 100 grams per day is adequate. To have 3 times a week is fine, not an issue. So these are the important components of protein and your nutrition, which is the building blocks, the improving your ability to fight diseases, to build your muscles, etc. These are those foods. Now next, let's come to the other part. If we are talking of immunity boosting, by all means use your herbs and spices. They must be used. We are the proud owners of these, so we must use them. But look at your plate. If your plate, and this is, I'm talking from the urban perspective, us who sit and work. If you look at your plate, divide the plate into half. This half plate should consist of various vegetables and fruits available in the season and locally. Don't go by the so-called dragon fruit or kiwis and all. They are good. You can afford it. You want to have it, go ahead and have it. But please don't think that unless you had broccoli and kiwi, you cannot be healthy. Your cabbage is as good. Our amrood is as good. Our papaya is as good, provided in this half of the plate which I'm talking about, there is a fruit there. The bonus is again, if after your meal you are having a fruit, your wish to have unnecessary sweets will go down tremendously. For people who've got high blood pressure, this will be an added aid in controlling the blood pressure. So 1/3 of that half of the plate is a fruit. 1/3 is your cooked vegetable, whatever is in season. The vegetables are beautifully distributed out throughout the year to provide you with the nutrients required during that time. So use them. The green leaves during winters come to provide you with all the antioxidants you need. All vitamin A for your skin and epithelial tissue, vitamin C, potassium, all of them. And then the third component is the salad. This is one thing I would like us Indians to get, especially in the urban area, to get really hot on. There are any number of vegetables which can be used as salad. You know the funny part? If any good restaurant announces that, oh, we are having a salad festival, so you go across and you pay almost 200, 300 at the minimum to buy a bowl of salad with a few things thrown in and you will eat it. What is to stop you from making a salad today of cabbage, capsicum, tomatoes, and throw in some chickpeas lightly pulverized or some sprouts or simple peanuts, groundnut, pulverized and just sprinkled in your salad. It will give a different taste. Add some till to it, it will give a different taste to it. If this you are having for lunch, for dinner, have some radish and carrots. Tomorrow it could be something else. It could be your beetroot and your radish and onions. There is a whole range of vegetables which can be used. But please do not have this Loki juice. Do not have Loki juice. It is not to be consumed. Loki is to be consumed cooked, not raw. Having talked about vegetables, I will now be talking about the last two components. I have, I think, about 5-7 minutes more before we leave the house open for questions. So the first is about the cereals. Cereals are very tricky. You know, all that I've told you so far, I've given you all the amounts of foods, each of the foods which I want you to have. And I know for sure you have this. This is the response your body will give you. But when I talk of cereals, it has to be individualized. Let's take the case of a young woman or a lady who is perfect weight, koi problem nahi hai, no underweight, no overweight, wants to maintain weight. Again, I'm talking from the perspective of the recent most guidelines which have come from Indian Council of Medical Research, and they have reduced the amount of cereal, roti, जिसके ऊपर हम डिपेंडेंट हुआ करते थे इतना ज़्यादा, which is required by every individual. The reason they have done is because we tend to be a carbohydrate eating nation. We like to eat a lot of rotis. दाल हो या ना हो, दही हो या ना हो, सब्जी ना भी हो तो चलेगा, हमें तो 3 या 4 रोटी खानी है. Now, I want you to understand this component of cereals, please. Cereals are majorly carbohydrate. They get digested, absorbed, and release their calories within 2 hours of eating. So, they release energy very quickly. We have become sitters. हम बैठे ही रहते हैं, सारा दिन काम बैठ के ही करते हैं. हम यूज कर रहे हैं only 60 calories, 70 calories depending on our weight and our age etc. per hour. But when we sit down to eat, within a span of 20 minutes, I have eaten 3 chapatis or 4 chapatis, 400 calories with even achar or sabzi. I have taken in 5 to 600 calories, but I'm going to be using up only about 60 calories per hour. बाकी का क्या होगा? It will just get converted to fat and get deposited. Extra calories, no matter where they come from, protein, fat, carbohydrate, they will get converted to fat and get stored. They cannot evaporate. So, I took this the last because I want you to understand this concept. So, this cereal thing has to be managed. You want to maintain your weight? Well, Indian Council of Medical Research says for a woman to manage her weight at the current pace, stick to 5 chapatis a day, nothing more than that. 1 for breakfast, 2 for lunch, 2 for dinner, and that's it. Okay? You want to have rice? Go ahead. Reduce 1 chapati. Instead, have a small cricket ball size katori of rice. You want to have poha for breakfast? Again, small cricket ball size, 30 grams of raw cereal is the helping of 1 cereal. तो मैंने उसको सिंप्लीफाई कर दिया, क्रिकेट बॉल साइज का पोहा या उपमा या दलिया या जो भी लेना है. You will maintain your weight. Otherwise, gradually, it will step up, and you will find that you will start gaining weight, especially as you grow older and your metabolic activity becomes low, you will start gaining weight. Now, a lot of people feel, and it is actually right, that dinner should be lighter. I have just seen a question on that also, so I'm taking it up right now. Yes, I agree on 2 counts. Number 1, if I'm a woman, I need 2 chapatis. It's fine if I have just 1 chapati for dinner. But before I go to sleep, I'll probably have a cup of milk so that I don't remain hungry and I get something very good for my immunity. Having said that, I must also tell you that these cereals are excellent if you use them in the mixed form. Bajra, jowar, jai, makka, all these are excellent. Each of them have specific characteristics. For example, bajra will have more iron and calcium than wheat. Makka will have more vitamin A for you. So if you mix everything, it is very good if you can take it. And I'll tell you a trick of improving the protein further. Take mixed form, for example, mixed atta of all these cereals. You have taken 1 kg, add half kg chana atta to it. And when kneading the atta, use milk. the chapati will be soft and the protein quality from that will be very high. Here it is important for me to tell you one more thing, that protein takes up to 3 to 4 hours for digestion. So when you eat a chapati which is rich in protein, it will stay in your stomach for a longer period. It will get digested gradually, slowly, and release energy very slowly. This is your immunity boosting chapati. I'm not saying don't have plain chapati. You are welcome to have it. But try that, at least 3 to 4 times in a week. You can have this as a part of your meals. If you want to increase your weight, please do increase the